Is Terrakion going to be worth your time, energy, and effort to be able to power up in Pokemon Go or raid for? Most importantly, because this Pokemon does take a premier amount of XL candy. What do I mean by premier XL candy? It means that you have to pay for this XL candy in each raid. So today we're going to check out the top placings as a meta attacker, and then we will also check it out in GBL. So if any of these do not apply to you or interest you, you can check the timestamps in the video below and get after it. Because just remember, we have Terrakion for 1 week. And if you guys do want more raids to be able to get after Terrakion, we will have that in the pinned comments below. Discord totally free, and Patreon is going to be more premier access. So when thinking about this Pokemon, it is going to be a fighting and a rock type Pokemon. It is going to max out at 4,181. It does have an attack value of 260. It does have a defense of 192, and it does have a stamina of 209. So we do have a pretty relatively even keels, higher attack value focused Pokemon, which means with the right moveset could definitely do this Pokemon a lot of justice. And just a hint before we get into it, this Pokemon did get a move update that has significantly changed its ranking. This Pokemon is going to be weak to Water, Steel, Psychic, Ground, Grass, Fighting, as well as Fairy, for a grand total of 7 weaknesses. As far as its resistances go, it is going to be resistant to Bug, Dark, Fire, Normal, Poison, as well as Rock. And this Pokemon obviously does have a shiny, which is extremely cool. One of my favorite, not insanely over the top, such as Virizion, but more subtle headdress change that I think looks phenomenal on this Pokemon. I think we can all agree on that. Let me know what you guys think. And as far as its moveset goes, it's going to get Double Kick, which is the updated fast move, which is a stabbed fighting fast move. Stab means same type attack bonus because it is a fighting type Pokemon, which means that it will get an extra boost on this moveset. It will also be getting Zen Headbutt as well as Smackdown, which is one of the premier rock moves as well, which is pretty impressive. Which then leads us into the charge moves. As far as charge moves, this Pokemon is going to get Close Combat, not the best move as far as fighting goes. It will also get Earthquake, and it will get Rock Slide, being one of the more premier rock moves besides something like a Rock Wrecker that is really only exclusive to Rhyperior, which we will check out it against it. And then finally, it will get the Legacy move, but usually comes out with this Pokemon when it comes as a raid boss, and that will be Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword on this Pokemon is a fighting move that is very effective, and there's really only a couple Pokemon, including the Swords of Justice and now Keldeo, that really actually get this moveset to my knowledge. So with this said, now let's check out this Pokemon's ER, which is basically the DPS to TDO maximally optimized to see how good this Pokemon is and see what is going to be its best moveset. So the best moveset coming off this Pokemon is going to be Double Kick and Sacred Sword at 46.35, which is pretty high. Smackdown Sacred Sword at 4309, which is cool, but we're not really interested in how that combination lines up. We're really more interested in the double rock moves of Smackdown and Rock Slide at 37.38. And then if we go down and further, Double Kick and Earthquake is going to be 33.97. So obviously the optimal moveset on this Pokemon is now going to be Fighting type. So this Fighting type move was once not the most effective because it didn't get a double Fighting type moveset, but now that it does, how is this move going to sit it in the top attacker standpoint for the fighting category? Well, we already know that it has had double rock moves for a while, so with that update, let's see where this Pokemon does stack up against all rock type attackers. Okay, for the top rock type attackers, in the #1 spot, we do have Mega Diancie, and that Pokemon is going to be Rock Throw, Rock Slide at 47.23. Mega Tyranitar comes in next, 46.73, both not out yet. However, Aerodactyl in the Mega form is out at Rock Slide, and Rock Throw at 43.32, which is the top available Pokemon right now. Shadow Tyranitar comes in next at Smackdown and Stone Edge at 40.79. Then we have Rhyperior, Smackdown, Rock Wrecker, 39.51. Rampardos, Smackdown and Rock Slide at 39, and then Terrakion with Smackdown and Rock Slide at 37.38. So as far as a rock type attacker, guys, I am not recommending that you raid for this Pokemon because we have 2 other Pokemon that are going to be much easier to obtain and are actually considered budget counters. However, this Pokemon is a legendary and it's not competing in the top. So Rhyperior, #1, and then we also have the Rampardos, which is #2, which we should have plenty of Rampardos XL candy after that research day that included both of the Cranidos as well as the Shieldon. So hopefully you guys do have that, which is pretty cool. But now I'm more excited about checking this out with you guys together, and that's going to be the fighting type category. It's going to be top best of the best fighting type category. Where does this Pokemon stack up with its double stab move fighting type moveset? So let's check that out right now. In the top spot, not out yet, we have 2 Pokemon. Mega Lucario counter Aura Sphere at 53.57, which is insane. Mega Heracross counter Close Combat at 48.75, and then we have the Mega Blaziken at 47.57, which is obviously a Mega, so that's pretty cool. But then we have the Terrakion in the first available Double Kick Sacred Sword at 46.35, actually above Shadow Machamp at 42.72. Mega Gallade Low Kick Close Combat 41.77, not out yet. Shadow Hariyama at 40.88, and then Mega Lopunny here, and the only non-shadow, non-mega available Pokemon right now in the top 10 in the game is going to be the Terrakion. And then if we go to the next page, the Lucario is available, obviously. 39.69, Conkeldurr, Counter Dynamic Punch, 39.36, Machamp, 36.89. Then we have Cobalion, Virizion, Buzzwole, and Meloetta and Hariyama all the way down at the bottom. So the top available Lucario is at 39.69, and the Terrakion is at 46.35. So we are looking at a substantial 9 points above where we are working with. So wow, this Pokemon is extremely effective. It is actually the top fighting type attacker besides 3 Megas, which is actually insane. This combination of Double Kick and Sacred Sword has now extremely improved this Pokemon and really made it effective in Pokemon Go. So would I recommend this Pokemon? Absolutely. Would I recommend having multiple of them? Honestly, you probably could. It does not have the best resistances and weaknesses, but at the same time, this Pokemon being pretty tanky with its combination, being well above that Lucario, obviously it does obtain some type of Premier XL Candy, but in this case, having it with those 2 movesets and then unlocking a second charge move and putting Rock Slide on that Pokemon is a pretty effective way to be able to hit that rock type counters as well, which, guys, honestly looks really good right now. So that's going to be my recommendation. Obviously, if you're going for more budget counters, you have the Lucario, you have the Shadow Machamp that are going to work out for you. And Shadow Machamp is going to not take Premier XL Candy, but will take 360 XL Candy and more Stardust. So that is going to be something that you do have to weigh into account. But having at least one of these Terrakions with an all fighting type move is very effective and something that I am going to be considered doing. So with that said, now let's move into the Go Battle League. It is not going to be available for the Great League. In the Ultra League, it's going to be ranked 161 with the combination moveset of Double Kick, Sacred Sword, and Rock Slide. But in the Master League, it's going to be ranked 54 with the moveset combination that I recommended for you as a meta attacker with that second moveset. So you can multi-purpose this Pokemon being in the Master League and fighting as meta attackers, which is always one of the coolest things that I do see. But please do try this Pokemon out before you max it out just for GBL if you are not a meta attacker. But as far as meta attackers goes, this Pokemon looks extremely good. So with that said, Raiders, 4 rocks? No. 4 fighting? Absolutely. Multi-purposing this in the Master League? Absolutely as well. That is going to be my recommendation. Very strong. It's going to be a while since we do see a Pokemon that could take the top spot. One of those Pokemon could be a Shadow Timber all the way into Conkeldurr, but who knows when that's going to come out. So thank you guys for being here as always. To all my likers, comments, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody takes their support, subscription, patron 2x. Hope to see you guys out in the next video. Peace.
I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.